Hey, how's everybody going? It's Jeff White. I figured I have a project that I'm doing. I'm building a truck, and I recently encountered the issue of I need to cut the floor pans out. They're pretty rusty, and I bought some new ones. And so you have your certain options of how you're going to do that. You cut off wheel or die grinder with a cut off wheel, or you could use a bladed reciprocating saw, jigsaws, a bunch of different ways. But I figured I've been wanting to get a plasma cutter, so I used it as. And usually when I do these projects, it's my opportunity to buy tools that I'm not going to buy just to buy them before. So now I have an actual reason to buy one. I'm going to look around and see what I can get. I looked at the professional, the companies Miller, Lincoln, ESOB. I looked for some used ones. I found used ones, but I lost the bidding on a Miller one on eBay. I missed out on it on a demo unit. The thing is when you go with the professional ones, they're in the thousands of dollars, and it's not that they're not worth it, but if you're not using it every day, when you have other options that are, let's say, for example, this Eastwood one right here, and that's the whole idea of the video is I'm going to unbox. Obviously, a decision I made. I went with the Eastwood, but the Eastwood, the middle grade one, the one that will have the same. I mean, as far as the spec goes, competes with. I was looking at the Spectrum. I think it was 375. That's $1,300. And if you look at the specs and you compare it to the Eastwood, their middle, which is the 40, the Eastwood, the 40. Yeah, okay. It has the same specs. The thickness of the material that it will cut is the same. It has a high frequency start. It has, and then the other thing was it has a 60-day money back guarantee, and it has a 3-year warranty on certain parts. It's a limited warranty, but most warranties are. So I figured, for the one time of me cutting that stuff out, and for the other little things I'm going to do with it, I looked at some of the reviews, and there were guys who, it was good for you had kind of the full spectrum. You have guys, it's a great bang for your buck. You guys that broke on me, but I returned it, and I got another one, and so whatever. I figured for $550, which I think with tax and everything, shipping was like $570, close to almost $600. That's half. That's less than half of what the Miller is going to cost you. Now I have a Miller MIG welder, and I bought that in 2005, and the only thing I've ever replaced on it is consumables, so wire and contact tips and gas. I mean, the thing itself has never ever given me an issue. So if I had the $1,300 and wasn't even worried about it, I probably would have went with the Miller. I wouldn't even thought about it. I just went with the Miller. I like Miller products. I'm also probably going to be considering buying a TIG welder. I'll probably go with the Miller, even though that Eastside Rebel looks pretty sweet. But so the Eastwood's $550. Okay, so I figured the amount of time I'm going to use it and cut out the floor pans. I'm not using it for anything too industrial. And I'll also do a video when I get it up and running. This is just to unbox it so you can see what's in the box. I haven't even opened it. You can see it still has the white straps on the box. I haven't even opened it. So this is just the unbox, and I figure I'd do a series of videos on it because I'm sure, like myself, there's people out there with the question of like, well, does this thing actually work? And reviews are, it's some guys' words, and guys, it's not their job to do that. So it's like, but did you, I always wonder what the parameters are. So I feel like a video, you get a better idea for all the variables that I'm going to face, and maybe you fit these same videos, and it's a bit easier to see. So we'll get started here. But pretty much it's just an unbox video, and I know YouTube is filled with these things for other types of stuff, but it's hard to find them for the stuff I'm interested in. So, but anyway, this is your typical, it's made in China, but $550. So let's see. I figured the components inside of it, I mean, I don't know. If it breaks and it keeps breaking and they keep giving me new ones, and we'll see what happens, but I figure it can't be anything too crazy, So let's open this thing up. these off here. And we'll see what's inside the box and what you get with the, because it's hard to tell, and they always say in the ad or in the on the actual website that, you know, what you see is not what you're gonna get. So, and they won't tell you exactly what you're gonna get. So first thing, assembly and operating instructions. Looks, you know, it's got a picture of the Versa-Cut. That's the actual official name. Versa-Cut 40. So Versa-Cut 40 plasma cutter. Boom, right there. Some instructions. Let's open this thing up and see what are we. It's pretty thin. You know, if you can see, that's pretty thin. So it's not, they're not getting too crazy here. Yeah, shows you how to plug every part up, stuff right there. And all that other stuff. Safety, you know, operation. And like I said, I'll do another video of operation, and so you guys can see and basics of the type of, if you're not a professional metal worker, this might just be the one that works for you. I mean, if you need to plasma cut every once in a while, I mean, it's hard to beat a plasma cutter for what it can do, you know. So pretty well packaged, you know. Looks like you got, you know, the typical cardboard fillers and foam, and, you know, to make sure everything stays pretty good. Let's see here, you got another cardboard filler. And I'm assuming this box right here, probably gonna have, yeah, look, you got accessories here. So let's set this down here. More foam, lots more foam. So it's pretty well packaged. Take this out here. Pretty light, you know, not too crazy heavy. I believe it's an inverter type. It operates with an inverter, so it's not too heavy. It's not transformer, like, you know, like the old stuff. So slide this box out of the way. So that's it. That's in the box. Do my shot, dude. Could you go over here? Thanks. All right, so as you can see, 220 plug, but it has an adapter that will allow you to plug it into right here. So that's what we got. So this is the box that came with the accessories and stuff in it. And like I was saying, it's a 220 plug, but it comes with the adapter so that you can plug it into your regular 110. I'm going to imagine that you're not going to get the same capacity out of it, and probably it's going to be probably more of a duty cycle thing. So you won't be able to cut, I would imagine, thicker stuff for too long before. But yeah, anyway, if you don't have 220, I don't have 220 in my house, so I'm limited always to what I can get. Here it looks like we got ground. It's the ground clamp, and I mean, you know, quality-wise, I mean, it doesn't look like it's, you know, like it's horrible. I mean, it looks like it'll do the job. I don't think it won't, but that's the ground cable. So what else we got here? This is the torch. I mean, here, I mean, you can kind of see, you know, other plasma cutters I've used. Yeah, probably the torch. But switch, you know, switch feels pretty good. Tip seems, you know, seems pretty all right. I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue with the little bit of plasma cutting that I'm going to be doing with it. We got the connectors here. They look pretty decent. This is the air hose. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For half the price, it doesn't seem like it's, you know, more than half the quality. I mean, it doesn't seem. But anyway, so here we got this little Ziploc bag, and don't yet know what that is. Looks like we got some consumables in here. My other concern with this one, which I thought might be kind of a pain in the ass after a while, was the consumables. Because with most Miller stuff, I know with my welder and stuff like that, I go down to the welding supply store, which is, I got a bunch of them here in, I live in San Diego, so I got a bunch. And I go down there, and I get myself some consumables if I need them. This, I'm imagining I'm probably gonna have to order them online and wait for them, which kind of sucks, because if you're in a bind and you need some consumables, well. So they give you looks like a wire brush here. That's nice of them. Don't know what this is yet. Oh, I think what they're doing here is they're giving you, oh, okay, that's exactly what it is. So it's a shield, which, I don't know. It looks like a handled, like you would use it like a handle. Looks like that. Yeah, well, thanks guys. I think some extra consumables would have been a bit better than this, and a wire brush. I could go buy my own wire brush. So Eastwood, if you watch this, if you happen to check this video out, more consumables and this stuff. I mean, I was watching a video. Yeah, it was Lancia and their A-Barth, one of their A-Barth rally cars, and the guy was MIG. I mean, this is back in got to be the 70s, 80s, and he was MIG welding a Lancia roll cage, and he had a handheld shield, and I would have thought they would have invented the regular welding helmet a bit quicker, but maybe not. Anyway, yeah, so that's pretty. I don't know. I don't need that. But, so I'll stick that back in there. But I imagine that this. Let me see if I can see what this. There's like a plastic tube in here with a roller, ball bearing in it. Let me see if I can figure that out. Torch assembly, care and maintenance, and no. They don't explain what that is. Air diffuser? No. Great. Maybe it'll explain it. Yeah, I don't see it in what it is, but extra electrode and nozzle, face shield, instruction booklet, adapter cord, torch. Extra electrode and nozzle? No, that's. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure it out though. Yeah, so I don't know if you see this and you know what this is. It's like this little. You see that right there? It's got a little ball bearing in it. I don't know what that is. I'll have to figure that out. But it looks like something that goes with the consumables. But I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, so the Versa-Cut. Let's see on the front here. I'll try to. Let's pick this up here. What do we got? We got a on-off switch. Looks like our amperage knob, the air pressure, and then I guess this is the knob to turn the air pressure up and down. I'm going to be using a Craftsman 150 psi maximum. It's pretty much the biggest air compressor you can get without going to the 220 motored air compressor. So I've used it to paint before, which it does it barely. So I'm imagining it's going to be on the limit for doing this too. I'm pretty limited with my electrical capacity, only because my house is not wired for 220. Well, but it did say though, I read it needed a breaker, a 60 amp. I think it's 60 amp or 20. I think one dedicated 20 amp, and I have that in a sub box in my garage. So here's your air inlet, power cord. I mean, it's pretty basic. Plasma cutters are pretty basic, at least the ones I've used in the past. But I mean, that's it right there. I mean, that's the unbox of it. It seems pretty basic. So yeah, I'll do, the next video I do with this will be operation to see, and I'll cut various different materials. I'll cut some aluminum, cut some steel, maybe even some stainless steel. I'll go buy, get some scrap, cut different variances of thicknesses, and we'll see how it does. And who knows? You know, it might help you in your buying process. And we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's it. And thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to see, you know, the other videos or any of the other videos I post. This is kind of like ones I do. I did one on my Tundra brakes and stuff like that. So this is more like in the garage type stuff. You know, I'm more focused on driving cars and stuff like that. But you know, I like to build stuff, and I'm building the truck, so I figured, you know, it might help somebody out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.